Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Color Guards. We are a live stream Let's Play for Dungeons & Dragons, featuring LGBTQIA members and Dungeon Masters. We are also very new player friendly, so if you are joining us for the very first time and you've not gotten a lot of experience with Dungeons & Dragons, we make sure that all the rules and things that we explain are kind of taken care of as we go to help new players be able to understand all the rules of the game as we play through them. A few quick notes and announcements. We are Twitch affiliates. We managed to get so around episode 4 of our campaign, so you can follow us and subscribe to us. And for our fabulous subscribers and supporters, you actually get access to fantastic emotes made by our very own Black Dog Melancholy, Korak Ironhoof. Which you will get access to if you subscribe, and the more subscribers we get, the more awesome emotes that we get to feature that have ones for every character and ones for every player, kind of things like that, as we continue expanding and growing as we go. We do want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Arlington Distorted for featuring us on their local Arlington Play podcast on Monday night. Thank you guys so much. It was a real ton of fun getting to hang out and chat with you guys and kind of be able to talk about the beginnings of Color Guards and kind of like what it all means to us, who we all are on it. It was a ton of fun. We really, really enjoyed being able to come out for that. Please go give them a shout out over on their Facebook and Instagram page. They are absolutely fantastic, and we really hope to be able to do something with them in the future. We now, as of a few days ago, have a YouTube channel. It is all set and ready to go, thanks to our very own Mike Elliott, Darrison over here, who helped get us all set up with it. We have episodes 1 through 5, as those are the episodes that we have rebroadcast on our channel here for reviewing. So you guys can go check those out on our YouTube channel. We are Color Guards RPG on YouTube, because if you just look up Color Guards, you just get a lot of high school band color guards.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they're doing a great job.
They're great.
That's what we're looking for.
But definitely go check us out. Color Guards RPG episodes 1 through 5 are there now. Later on this weekend, we're going to be rebroadcasting episode 6 of our live stream. So as soon as we do that, you'll be able to actually catch that on our YouTube channel. But if you are available, keep a watch on our social media pages. We'll actually announce whenever we're going to be hosting that rebroadcast. And if we do, there's oftentimes those of us from the cast and crew who are in chat on the rebroadcast that you can ask questions to, give commentary. We'll usually kind of joke about the ridiculous things that we do. I had a ridiculous DM flail I couldn't even moment on episode 5, and I did not realize it until I watched it back, and that was highly illuminating. I'll say that.
Yeah, my constant.
You just, like, you notice it way more when you're rewatching yourselves back. We also want to give a shout out to anybody who is a member of the LGBTQ community and is a part of a local band. Please reach out to us. We are looking to feature local bands and local artists for our pre-streams, our breaks, and our post-streams here on the channel with your fantastic music, so we can continue supporting other LGBTQ content creators and artists. So please reach out to us on our social media pages. We're more than happy to be able to get y'all worked in and be able to showcase your fine talents just as much as ours. One last thing as we're kind of gearing up for tonight. We have had a lot of activity on our social media pages and through the podcast, things like that. And we really want to know if you're a brand new viewer tonight and you're tuning in for the very first time. Let us know in the comments, in the chat, where you guys have heard about us from. Be it the podcast, be it Instagram, be it Twitter. Just let us know kind of like what brought you by, what kind of interested you about our show, so we can kind of like better service our community. We are down 1 player tonight, unfortunately, but that is okay. Luminitza will be off gathering information and doing some sneaky things. For those of you who watched episode 6, you're a little bit more inclined to know what sort of sneaky things she is doing. So definitely check out that video on demand if you have not done so yet and get caught up. So we are going to go ahead and jump into tonight's game. Last time, the party leveled up. Everybody's level 2 now. It's so exciting. You're slightly better than level 1s. Yeah! Everybody rolled for some hit points, got access to some new character abilities, things like that. And everybody kind of went about and took care of some own personal business, as everybody did. Checked back in with contacts back in your homelands of the Sindalesnia Conclave. Korak and Darrison did some restocking. Some very interesting things happened with Luminitza. Spoilers for episode 6. Go check it out. And Lucian actually found out that his family is going to be investigating Orzhov connections to kind of like all of these odd mysteries and conspiracies that have been going on around town. So they're going to be throwing a party to try to suss out what the rest of the families of the Orzhov are doing, inviting some of the well-known members of other guilds here on Ravnica to try to figure out who has connections to what. So that is going to be coming up at the end of the week within the game. And in the meantime, Lucian's father, Lucian Zilzaxos, has agreed to allow Lucian to invite a few friends along for the party. So we will see where that goes. However, today, the next day, as you all are gathering back together, meeting up once again back at the establishment from Darrison's contact to kind of like regroup and figure out where everybody else has gone and kind of like put the pieces back together. You guys have met up over breakfast and have a chance to kind of fill each other in on how the previous day's events have gone. Unfortunately, none of you have been able to hear from or get in contact with Luminitza. That line of contact has just kind of been left unanswered. So unfortunately, you are without her today. So what would you guys like to do?
I'm sorry, where are we?
You guys are at the brothel.
The brothel again. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Back at the
Having a
bar.
little
With the
little
mangoes.
Yeah.
during off hours.
Darrison, can I get another one of those drinks that I had last time?
Oh, absolutely, and a little wink to the waiter
Who?
for another tall
Once,
glass of
yes.
water.
Once again, just good water.
The mug available over here.
They bring a full round of drinks for you guys. It takes a few minutes, so you have a few moments to
Nice
yourselves to be able
breakfast
to
ale.
kind of catch back up with each other.
So I have a wonderful surprise for everyone. I found out that my family is planning a large party, and at first my father was adamant that I could not bring any guests whatsoever. He's like, Lucian, you will not have any of your low-class ruffian friends coming to this fancy party of ours. But I pleaded with him, and I begged him, and I eventually made him see it my way, and you are all invited to come with.
Please roll a deception check. And I'm going to need everybody to roll insight checks. Oh my god, roll. Oh.
9 total?
11.
7.
Yeah, 11.
This is a 20.
Oh, God!
So Thone, you, like, that's the best news you've ever heard. You're so proud of Lucian. He actually, like...
Of course I believe it, wouldn't I?
He's the one that trusts everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're just met with, like, steely gazes from Darrison.
I absolutely buy it. Lucian, thank you. Thank you so much for groveling and begging for our right to be there. I really appreciate that you would degrade yourself so much on behalf of the party. So thank you. It was very brave of you.
You're welcome.
Do I have to put on clothes?
Yes.
We'll get all of the finest garments. We'll definitely make sure to make a very good impression with you and your family. We appreciate that you would extend such a generous offer to us.
I'll wear my best leathers.
Unfortunately, there is an absence at the table. I don't know where Lumi is, and well, some of you may not have known Lumi as long as I have, but she operates like this sometimes and just doesn't show up. I don't know what she gets up to, and quite frankly, I would be a little afraid to ask. So,
I hear that some of you guys have jobs. I would imagine she's working.
Do you not have a job?
Someone with the easiest, most like nonchalant answer, just like, well, she's
I
got a
tend my
job.
garden, but sometimes people work. I mean, I don't understand it myself.
I work. I work very hard.
Thumb doesn't like punch a clock. He's not like walk into the garden, put the little thing in the clicker, like, oh, 10:01.
Time to grow some fruit.
I have the luxury of making my own schedule. Thank you. So I'm taking some personal days to attend to all of our fun adventures. I'd much rather be here than on stage with the riffraff. It's hot and sweaty. There's lots of pyrotechnics, and I'm not really a fan of some of the unsavory Rakdos performances.
Me
So-
too.
At
Isn't that
this point, the waiter has come back and is dropping off your drinks. Is just like, what you call unsavory? I just call it Fun Friday. Kind of drops off and just like, by the way, this was dropped off at the front counter for you. And she drops down a very dirty, very greasy looking bottle that looks like it's got like liquid inside of it and like some type of like tightly bound like parchment or something still like sitting in the liquid in there. It's like, I don't know what it is. If you could just make sure it doesn't like explode or
Can I-
melt the table or it smells awful.
Can I uncork it and take a whiff?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a...
Why would you do that? Why would you smell it?
Go ahead and just roll me a general like intelligence check.
Do I have a minus to that?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Oh.
I rolled 2, minus 1.
That's one.
It's a dirty
is
one.
Vile. It's like it's not. That is. It's.
Does it smell familiar
It's
anyway?
like citrusy and like not in like the good citrus.
Oh.
Like
Rotten
this is like stuff that like smells citrusy that probably shouldn't smell citrusy. It's
Funky citrus.
yeah. It's
Citrus that fell in with the wrong crowd.
yeah. Let me tell you. It's citrus that wears like a leather jacket.
Does it smell familiar at all?
Thinking to all your rancid memories.
It smells
All the rancid liquids I smelled in my life.
vaguely. It smells vaguely akin to the alcohol that you consumed at the Kindle Coal Pit, the Shatter Gang Brothers
Very familiar.
establishment.
You said there was like a note inside.
Mm-hmm.
Can I grab an empty glass and like pour it out?
Yeah. So you
Like the liquid out. And
you
try to
pour
get it
enough
to
liquid
fall.
out. It's like a full bottle. And the more that you look at it, you look like the note was probably put in there to like mask the fact that a note was being delivered, but at the same time, like it's not a completely opaque bottle, and there's liquid, and then like a note inside of it. So the intention was great. The execution was a little off. You're able to pour enough of the liquid out into a glass, and it kind of fizzes in a way that you don't expect it should.
There's a note in that bottle.
And you look at the note, and as you pour it out, enough of the note is able to come out, and you touch it, and it feels like it's been like heavily lacquered in something to be able to like stand up to the water, but it's really gross and greasy.
Just kidding.
Can I get it out of the bottle to unroll it?
Yeah, and you pull it out, and in it is a note addressed to Percy Bismuth, Gentry, Solomon, and I don't
didn't give
remember-
a name for Lucio.
You didn't give it. Yeah,
'Cause he was
I was gonna
a
say
man
it's addressed to
at the
you four, and it says, "The boss wants to see you for a special job that he has in mind for you." XOXO Bab. And you can see at the top that where it says Percy, the I is completely X'd out and it's a Y, and there's a little note like, honestly, just spell it this way.
It's a fake name. It doesn't matter.
You can't read this. This isn't addressed to us.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
he introduced
I did
all the
explain.
fake names.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can read that. It's addressed to us. Go ahead.
Well, phone. Speaking of all the jobs that we need to get to,
Absolutely.
we have some work to do today if everyone's free.
We were supposed to help the goblins, right?
Yeah, it looks like they're calling in a favor. So,
As long as I
there's
can
probably
smash
some
something.
money in it. It might be more exciting than sitting around here for the
I don't
day.
know. My caseload is pretty heavy. I have a whole 1 case this week.
Oh, well, maybe we can take a working lunch later today and try to knock that out for you. But I think whatever these guys are up to sounds exciting.
I think we should go on this mission of peace.
It's worth seeing, seeing what's in it for us, seeing what's up.
These are peaceful goblins?
Yeah, no, they're
Everyone is
great.
peaceful in the right light. You just need to speak to them the right way.
God, just keep saying that. I'm
Just-
so happy. It's totally peaceful.
I mean, I'll do the talking, but yeah, they're pretty peaceful.
Okay.
Yes, which him do the
Let me take
talking.
point on that.
Not you.
What?
You're bad at talking to
I'm
people.
bad at talking to people.
Well, you're
I
not
am-
so
you-
great at
you-
talking to goblins.
He named me after a rock.
I did do
You,
that.
you also got stabbed and
That is
she didn't
true.
let me talk to her
The
first.
last time you talked to someone, you did get stabbed.
She cut me off. She didn't hear everything.
Literally cut you off, yes.
I just say you don't have the best track record, best rapport with these Shattergang goblins.
I talk to people for a living. I am a blazing light of charisma in a dull and otherwise colorless world. How could you say this about me? I am
Lucian,
offended.
I'll let
child.
you be.
I'm not even going to drink this drink that you brought me.
Yeah, I don't know. You might need it, but I'll let you be my backup. All right.
The bartender just kind of like shakes her head and grabs her drink and downs it in one, and it's a big drink. She just downs it. And you see her give a very convincing like burp. Just sets the glass
let's,
back down and walks away.
Let's head out and see what they're up to. What do you
Great.
think? We got-
So you guys
right
settle
now?
your tabs as you go. The matron of the bar, your contact, stops you on your route and says, "I need you to know that if you cross this gang in any way and it comes back here because they know you can be found here, I will take it out on you." And just walks away.
could I have heard that? I
Mid-sentence,
just
like-
Roll perception check.
11.
No.
I'm too
No.
pouty to
She's
have
like-
noticed.
I'm just smiling
You
and
didn't-
waving.
You're great.
I just wanted to get a good shot.
And y'all make your way out. The Shattergang's Kindle Coal Pit is not too far from this establishment. So you guys make your way a little bit down 10th Street and head over into the district. And as you arrive, you see one of the goblins at the front just kind of like wave you in and kind of like stops for a sec and kind of like points to Lucy and kind of like looks you all over like.
Oh, Sinex, buddy, he's with us. This is our friend Malachi.
All right,
Yeah.
and real quick, the boss needs to see you.
And just shoot him a look and
And hurriedly kind of like ushers you guys in, and quickly closes the door behind y'all. But as you all walk in, you can see another pot-bellied goblin with various like electrical burns on them. Still looking really like spacey-eyed and has been like set up on top of the bar itself. These are like the morning hours, like no patrons are here. Is like being like set up on the bar and it's being like bandaged and taken care of by Bab, and she just keeps grabbing bottles and kind of like shaking them onto his like open wounds and things, and he's like, she's like, "I'm sorry, darling, we got to make sure it's sanitized before we do this. You can't get an infection again. I saw what happened to that big toe. It's not happening everywhere else. I'm not having it, Rickig."
Can I? So we see this, correct?
Yes.
Can I make a medicine or a survival or medicine check?
I would say a medicine check.
Okay. Come on, see if I recognize it. Nope, that's a 6.
No.
That just looks like burns.
But yeah, it just looks like burns on like goblin flesh, and she's like, thank you, this one can't talk to you right now, he's busy, but Gardigig's right in on his desk, you can see him. Boss, they're here, they're here to see you. He's got your job waiting for you, he's right in there.
Thank you, Bab. You're a delight.
Thank
as
you.
always.
Who's this one? He's a treat.
This is Malachi.
He's yummy. Come see to me later. I can't write your name in my book right now, but luckily I have great memory and I will write it down next to Percy and everybody.
It's so pleasant to
Malachi.
meet you.
Love it. Yes. Love you. Love everything about this.
What part of Ravnica are you from?
I'm from this part of Ravnica.
That's so interesting.
I don't... Well,
Oh,
if this part of Ravnica is interesting to you, let me tell you, honey, you haven't seen a lot of Ravnica. But that's fine. It's okay.
I've just never heard an accent like yours
Wait,
before.
wait,
It's
does
so
he have
beautiful.
his
Oh, just
Orgeat,
wait. The
or-
boss is gonna have one too, honey.
does he have his?
And you see, you didn't get to meet Bab. Bab is heavily make-upped. A goblin that probably has no idea how to properly use makeup. But there's like multiple colors of eyeshadow, lipstick that's just kind of like smeared across. Think like the 5-year-old girl who found her mom's makeup and was like, I'm gonna do my own. Oh, honey. She also dyes her own hair, so there's like multiple different shocks of color occasionally where she didn't fully get the full coverage of hair dye. And because these are fancy goblins, she doesn't have spectacles. She has 2 monocles that she like has pulled up
I drew a
because
picture
monocles
of
are
her.
fancy. And she just ushers you back to the back office. And the back office is, it's behind this, like, mesh cage that just has, like, one little, like, door-type entrance into. And they're in a desk very similar in make to, like, Leonesius's desk. It's a very finely made, like, Azorius Law Mage desk that seems to have been repurposed and is not of Azorius personage anymore. And behind it you see another pot-bellied goblin. He's got like an open vest on, and he's got a monocle on, and he's got like yellowing fingernails that like kind of come over his hands, and he's just like, welcome in, I see you brought some new blood, introduce me, tell me who this one is.
Absolutely. Gardigig, this is Malachi, a friend of ours.
Malachi. Bab, yes, boss, I already have it. It's in the memory bank. It'll be in the docket soon. Thanks, Bab, you're the best. So, Malachi,
Yes.
Percy, Bismuth, Swalloman. Something to remember this, I promise. So, we've
Sorry,
had a...
Swallowman or something?
Solomon,
Okay.
but he can't exactly say Swallowman, so it's going to be Swallowman a little bit.
It's gonna be swallowed.
There's an extra W in there.
You can't keep saying that.
It's also probably like
God.
Swallo.
Oh,
Is how
my
he kind of Swallowman.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
He says, so, as you can see, Rickig wasn't able to extricate those 4 goblins who got caught up in all of the mess
Is
back
he
at...
okay?
Well, he obviously got himself run amok of something, you dumbass! And you see Ricky just, that's not... and just passes out again from the pain. It's just like, I fucking swear the wrong brother died is all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. I can only say it because he passed out. He's not alone. He's fine. Listen, we're having a bit of trouble extricating Estrix, Stixel, Mizna, and Phoenixel. Okay? Those 4 goblins that got involved in all that mess back at the Transfield Promenade Festival, we're having a little bit of trouble getting them out of jail. And I need them out of jail. I can't have them behind bars getting mixed up with all the Azorius nonsense.
Of course.
So,
I'm good at breaking stuff. So.
here's the thing. Later tonight, after nightfall, they're gonna load them up and they're gonna transfer them to a holding facility that's close by where they're building that godforsaken security facility, Udzik. I need them out of there and back here before then. Got it?
Sounds straightforward enough.
Wonderful. Each of you will get an even cut from what we were supposed to get paid from those people who hired us out to do this job in the first place. It's godforsaken money. I don't want it anywhere near me. I just need my people back.
Of course.
So, get our people back. You'll each get that. I do have this. Bab! Get him the stuff. She's like, ooh, I love it when we get to give him this. She goes and like rummages around behind the bar, and you hear some glass break and like liquid splash, and she pulls out a bottle. She's like, nope, that's trash, and just throws it behind her, and it crashes to the ground. She's like, oh, here, and she's like very like carefully and like rummaging, kind of like bringing 4 glass bottles over and kind of like sets it on his desk, and she's like, ooh, wonderful, we still had one for each of them, boss, it's so exciting. And she kind of like takes one and puts it down in front of each of you, and it's a smaller size than the bottle that was, think like this is probably about like a beer bottle size. She's like, this is a house special. We make everything in-house, including our potions. It's so exciting. He goes, these right here, these'll help you take on whatever visage you want. But we kind of stole the ingredients and the recipe from some Is-It scientists, and we don't really know exactly how it works. So the amount of time that it works is kind of suspect. We can't really guess it. It just kind of happens how long it happens. But if you're trying to get in and out of a facility, this is probably one of your better ways to do it. He says, these will probably help you in your matter if you need it. If not, hey, you better. It's yours. Consider it in advance. Says, I believe you tried to counsel our lovely gang members before, yes? If I remember correctly?
Yes.
Juzba and Dazaz reported back that you all were trying to give them legal counsel before. These are the 4 goblins.
I know that, but I'm not Lucian, I'm Malachi.
But he just
But
has
you
a
were-
group of
we know
people.
that you're
They didn't know your
No,
names.
they didn't know my
We
name.
know that you're affiliated with us.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yes.
Dazaz and
I remember
Juzba
that.
just saw the group of people. They didn't know their names.
Okay. Yes.
So
yes.
And now they know
Yeah.
all of our names.
They very rudely rejected my offer of counsel.
It's like, that's really unfortunate. However, I do have to give them credit. To be fair, they're not supposed to tell anybody anything. So, like, I get it. They did good work by telling you no. But we're kind of in the 11th hour here. We need them back. Just saying. So, you all know where they are. Apparently they're going to be taken out from the loading facility directly behind that building. From what Rickig has been able to say, they are guarded by 2 men, guard that little loading dock area. And he claims that there was some type of, like, flying device. I think it's the devices that y'all were investigating before. Like those crazy, creepy little helicopter football things.
Ah, the bugs.
Yeah. He says there's one of those there. That's what did him in so well. He didn't even get beat by a guy. He got beat by a robot bug. The fucking tryhard, I swear.
Embarrassing, but understandable.
Brothers, what you gonna do? You gotta love him. You wanna kill him. You gotta love him. It's life. So, go in, get our 4 members, bring them back here. We'll pay you all off handsomely. And if you didn't enjoy your delicious beverage that we hooked you all up with, feel free to keep it. It's yours. It's on the house.
Is there? Do we know where they're being transported? Do we have that location?
The place 2?
Yeah.
It's some type of holding facility that's up near where they're breaking ground for Udzik.
Okay.
Apparently, they're starting to transfer a lot of inmates and a lot of prisoners up there so that as soon as they get it built, they're going to start loading people in pretty quick.
Well, that's simple. Before they arrive at their current holding facility to pick them up, we'll have to arrive there first. And we can just say that we're the guards that are going to be transporting them.
sounds fair enough. If we're going to make it there before them, I guess we better get going. Is there anything else that we need to know before we leave?
No, they're gonna be leaving from where y'all remember them being via transport out at the back through a loading dock area. It's like a little loading warehouse that's attached to the building that was kind of like the detention center that you all remember them being at. They're gonna be loaded out through a loading rig there and taken along the Transfield Promenade overnight up to up near Precinct 3, Precinct 4, near like y'all's neck of the woods.
All right.
So it's probably best to get them before they start transporting. I mean, it's the middle of the night. You could probably do something on the way. But, like, usually, if you're going to do something under the cover of dark, you're going to do it, like, at the place. Not out in the street. That seems a little suspect. I mean, I'm just a goblin and I've done a lot
That's
of
fair.
crime.
No, I appreciate your input. From a man of much experience, it is very valuable.
Thank you. I have had a lot of experience. If this was my job, I would have had it. I wouldn't be stuck on top of my fucking bar with burns and pass the fuck out, Rickig. It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm very angry at my brother. I've had to run the whole business by myself for the past 2 days while he was doing this job, and then, like, he didn't even do the job. I'm just under a lot of work stress.
It's understandable.
It's work stress, everyone.
Understandable.
I'm sorry.
But the job is in good hands.
At this point, Bab is already bringing him, like, a coffee or something. It's in, like, a really, like, rusted, like, cracked, like, splintered mug. But she's like, it's okay, boss. It's fine.
Please, take some time for yourself. Relax.
Don't worry.
And rest assured that this job will be seen through to the end.
Bab just looks you over. It's like, don't worry. I'm
can
only
guarantee.
serving him decaf.
All right. Well, we better get going. Let's figure out what we're gonna do and get there quick.
We can at least scope out the area, see exactly how it's set up, what's going on over there.
Perfect.
So we know where it is. So let's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lucian, you remember this is the place where you went to offer legal counsel.
Yes.
You do still have those papers with you,
Right.
if you need a entrance through the front.
Yeah, that I stole from.
And you have, that Darrison
I
stole
stole the
from
folder.
Leonesius back at the beginning. Come on, full circle. So you guys head out. It's still like probably about like mid-morning, nearing early afternoon. You guys have gotten a pretty early start at the day. So as you arrive in the surrounding area, it doesn't appear to be like on like high alert or anything. Like they're not transferring prisoners until like later on in the evening, and at this point, like it's just goblins. So it's
Okay.
not like worrisome threats to them as far as much as you can see. So you guys have arrived. You're probably like across the street and a side street, kind of like looking at the front of the establishment itself. This is where y'all have had your experience with. You haven't seen to like the back entrance loading dock area. What would you guys like to do?
How I guess heavily guarded is this facility itself? Like, is there visible?
The front entrance does have a Azorius guardsman out front. And you remember there being at least one more, Lucian remembers at least there being one more guardsman within the building itself, and the front law mage clerk attendant who escorted you back to it. But other than that, this was within the actual facility itself was a pretty small facility.
I'd like to take a stroll
only
around
saw, You only saw up to the visitor room. You didn't go back into the cells area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to take a casual stroll around completely inconspicuously.
Or just looking at
Yeah, I'm
flowers.
just looking at scenery
Great.
and such.
Go ahead and roll me 1 a deception check, and then 2 a perception check.
Absolutely.
So deception to look like incognito.
I definitely got a 6.
on your incognito roll.
Uh-huh.
Great, awesome.
Well, that's charisma, so I mean,
It's fine.
I'm an elephant.
And then perception.
Perception is going to be a 9.
9 total.
Oh wait, I get an advantage on.
Yes, you do. 9.
Yes, it's a 9.
Okay.
This dice doesn't like me today.
So looking around, you definitely stick out. Nobody is like actively like stopping you or anything, or there's like the guards at the front kind of keeps an eye on you, but doesn't like move from his post or anything like that as you kind of like make your way around the side. You can see around the back, now that you're kind of like to the side, you can see around the back it has like a little bit of a taller rooftop. And you can see that there probably are like, it's probably like the rooftop that comes to a point, and there are a few windows within it up there.
Okay.
And around the back, there is one guard stationed there outside of like an open doorway. And you can see him kind of like occasionally chatting with somebody inside. And he keeps like kind of like awkwardly looking at you as you kind of like make your way around, but he doesn't stop his conversation. He just keeps it going and keeps like double taking a little bit, like, the fuck is this? Loxodon. Do we have Loxodon in this area? I'm not gonna say that out loud because that's a little racist. But like, I'm gonna wonder it as I keep looking. This is weird. And as you make your way back around the other side and you make your way back to the party.
Good thing you weren't wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, that's very
That'd be very
dangerous.
dangerous.
They don't make
Locked
side
down.
sides.
Yeah, that'd be very dangerous.
AKA the next emote I make.
So,
There's
You heard it
only
here, folks.
one
As soon as
guard.
we reach the next tier, Loxodon stealth emote. Make it happen.
There's only one guard out back.
one guard out back.
One guard.
So, I guess the big question is, what's our approach? Are we going to try to get them here? Are we going to try to get them in transit? Or at the location?
Are we using these potions?
I guess it depends on how we want to go about it, but they certainly seem useful.
Well, if we're going to be using them, then I suppose that's going to determine where we're trying to pull this off.
And he did say that it was that they were going to be moved this evening. So throughout the day,
That's
they will
about how much
still
time?
be.
Is it still like morning, midday?
It's about like midday at this point.
Okay.
The potions themselves last an indeterminate amount of time, but the prisoners will begin the transporting process at nightfall.
Okay.
They'll be
Otherwise,
sending
they'll be held within their cells.
they'll be sending something over here to pick them up, but we don't know from where. But we know where they're going, and we know where they're being picked up.
So,
They're-
I guess I have a couple ideas to put on the table. We could either intercept the guards before the pickup and impersonate them,
Good idea.
and then they're ours, just a matter of where we take them. We can stop the guards in transit and sneak the goblins out, or we stop them at the location and sneak them out. I guess it depends on how many guards are going to be transporting them and if it's enough for us to handle.
Or we could impersonate the guards and simply pick them up before the actual guards arrive.
That's, I think, the cleanest way out of this.
But would we be able to look Azorius enough?
Well, hopefully if the potion does its job. And if not, I've been practicing a couple of my tricks.
I think there's one thing you're forgetting. This is all incredibly illegal.
You and your
Alright.
laws.
Would Darrison happen to be Metal Gear stealthing his way via box into this building? Because like I'm
have
ready.
been practicing my illusions a little better than that.
More than just boxes.
I can.
That's true. You can cast spells.
Yes, I do have a bit. I have a
Darrison
bit of
who
an
just,
upper hand on the situation.
Stone who just punches or trunks his way through problems. It's like, whoa, that's a thing. I forgot.
Well, from my experience with most people such as the Azorius, there's going to be more guards at night, and they're going to have, if they are who they are, which they are,
Well said.
they're going to have a strict roster or timeline and guide on guards and when they're being picked up and things like that. If we don't have that information, it wouldn't matter if we are impersonating them because the cover could be blown. Unless they're incredibly stupid.
They are woefully organized, the Azorius.
So Knight's going to have more guards.
Doesn't really work in our favor.
organized.
So, I guess my other plan is we wait for them to pick them up, find out how many people are picking them up, let them do the paperwork, and we simply intercept them
Yes,
a
that
brilliant
before
was
they
idea.
reach their destination.
Or we could just break them out right now.
True, I mean, how many people did you say were in the building?
Oh, you want my help to do something that's incredibly illegal?
Oh, that's right, you're
pretty
balls
boy.
about
Just
that.
you're
So,
in this as it is.
Lucian, I know that we had this conversation about if we're in or we're out as far as what the party's going to do. See, the thing about this, we fall into a bit of a moral gray area. Yes, it is illegal to break someone out of prison, but also we established that it was wrong for these goblins to have been imprisoned in the first place. So really, we're just
But it wasn't
Zeroing
illegal
the
for them to be
score.
in prison.
It's all a very gray area because they're your laws, not
Oh.
ours.
You see,
so...
I don't see things in gray. I see things in black and white.
Things aren't black and white.
Things are very, very black and white where I come from.
Are you proud of that?
Yeah.
This right now? Are you so proud of this right now?
Yeah, I realized after I said that what he was referring
It's
to.
a full pun. I don't even need it.
then.
Run home to
I
daddy.
have a question for you, Lucian. We did offer legal counsel to the goblins themselves, and yes, they did refuse. However, their superiors have now requested our legal counsel. In a way, we've been hired to extricate them from prison. I think that's vague, and we could legally get them out of prison if you have some ideas, some laws that maybe can clear this whole situation up.
That works great for me. Let me spend a few weeks in the law library. I'll see what precedent I can pull, and then once our paperwork works its way through the system, 6 months from now we'll be on our way to having them out of prison.
That sounds like, honestly, an excellent idea.
Thank you.
My only problem, see, so you had a problem with my plan, I have a problem with your plan. My problem with your plan is it needs to happen tonight or we don't get paid.
Garrison's ready to full on like Elle Woods Legally Blonde this shit. Like, let's go.
I'll do
So
that.
what do you think we can come up with in the next few hours?
Okay, I'll do it your way on one condition. If we get caught, or more likely win, but if we get caught, you have to tell them that you put a spell on me and made me do it.
Easily. That's a deal I can take easily because I have full confidence that we're not going to get caught. Absolutely, deal.
Doesn't matter that he likely will inspell Lucian if it all goes wrong, but like it's fine.
Look, you're free and clear. I'll take the fall for it. And nothing's gonna go wrong anyway. Everything's gonna go off without a hitch because we're gonna come up with a great plan with your help, Lucian.
All right. Well, someone's.
With your mastermind. How do we do this? We intercept the transport.
So
and then what?
That's what we're going with. And intercepting the transport after he leaves.
I think
Yes.
that sounds the safest.
That puts us the farthest away from more guards.
And the least
Very
amount
true.
of paperwork.
Very true.
Off-topic question.
Okay.
Where would be a halfway point between, or the out of character? What's the halfway point between the holding facility and the current we're in?
Roll a intelligence check.
It's along the
See
Transco
if you
promenade,
can.
right?
All we have to do is
No, I was.
The
Follow
Transglobe
the-
Promenade would be the
transport.
like
Jesus.
quickest route between those two locations.
It would be a 9.
9. The Transglobe Promenade is going to be the quickest route between those two locations.
But that's
they still
public.
have to they still have to go through the streets to get to the entrance to the Transglobe Promenade on this southern end and travel up it to get to the exit at the top end.
So, I guess how familiar would we be with the area? Like,
Yeah,
do we know
that's-
somewhere that we could set up an ambush, like near the on ramp or whatever to the Transglobe
Time to look.
Promenade?
We have all day.
The likely way that they would get onto the Transglobe Promenade from here.
Y'all could work out a series of diversions that would try to place them in like a pathway that you would do. Lucian, roll me I'm gonna say like a history check. It's like a general intelligence check, whichever's
16.
easier. 16? So there are no laws that permit precedent for any type of like guild to allow to move uninhibited through the streets of Ravnica. Like, an example, there are no like alarms or sirens that will blare that will like force people out of the way.
Okay.
Like, you can't mess with each other's stuff on the road, but at the same time, like,
There's no emergency services.
Yeah,
Free reign to
exactly.
move through. Okay.
any of those types of things are more traditionally done via air, and it's kind of hard to impede things in the air, except for like natural phenomena. But on the ground, there is nothing to say you couldn't like create a series of like blockades,
Like cabbage
or-
carts lined up strategically to keep them from moving.
That's what I was gonna say. I think we can plan out the route that we want them to go and just block off all of the other roads.
I hope
We
they
just
don't
need,
gain
like,
speed. They
Phone
would
knows
go
how to
through
make
them.
signs.
It's true.
So
I mean,
Stone is a
we-
known sign expert, is all I'm
You
saying.
can use your greatest talent to our advantage.
or yours, which is money. You can bribe some probably lowly beggars, and
I
they
was really
can.
happy for a second because I thought you were going to do something nice, and then you just said my greatest talent is money, and I'm upset.
You've got some other good
and
talents, but in
how
this
good of a lawyer
situation,
you are.
You're a great
A
lawyer.
great
Look what you did for those
negotiator,
goblins.
and you can negotiate with some people.
you're very
to
cute.
help
Is
us.
that a good enough?
Everyone is patronizing me. I feel like I'm at a family gathering.
Aw, he just said we feel like family to him.
Oh, I'm honored.
I think this is a breakthrough, Lucian. We're so glad. You're
Okay.
So comfortable.
So, bringing things back, what is the game plan?
So we maybe
God.
set up a roadblock or two. I guess if we even took some time to like walk the streets, can we find out like how many roadblocks we would need to orchestrate to get them into an advantageous position?
Yeah. Like,
Just a less
So-
like populated or like maybe a shadier part of town that they have to drive through before they
so
get
I'll
where
say
they're
give
going?
me, I'll say this will be like a series of 2 different intelligence checks, and I'll say that like two people can make it, or one person can make it at advantage both times. But
Not
like
me.
the same person can't make it twice.
Okay. It's just an intelligence check?
Yeah. So the first one to be able to like
Intelligence.
map
Would you like to
out the
help on this
areas,
one? Yeah.
and then
Sure.
Okay. I'll roll with Lucian.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, Jiminy.
Nice.
Just an intelligence check, so that's
Uh-huh.
an 8.
He has pluses to intelligence.
So y'all can
Oh no.
between the two of you, you can map out the area between the holding facility and where the Transguild Promenade on-ramp, as you say, would be. But there are a number of different paths that they can take, so you'd have to kind of get creative with your road blocking to, like, lure them into a position where you'd be
Just
able
gotta get them like into the
Um,
shady part of town.
So, the other two, both of you give me an intelligence check to see if you, with your combined talents
When we
of
put our heads
signage.
together,
Yes.
there's no limit to what
And
we
my
can't do.
-1. Oh, a 19. I lie. I got a natural 20 with a -1.
I'm so proud of you.
I got
So,
a different dice.
this is probably not the first time that Korak has, like, overturned an official vehicle.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Likes to start shit.
So, like, as they start doing it, you're probably like, well, we could easily move those barrels over, and if we start a fight at this bar, then that's going to disrupt them there, and they're
That'll
going to have
spill
to
out
turn
into the
down this
street,
road.
and-
And if they turn down this road, then we can easily block them off, so they have to turn through the alleyway. And, like, Korak goes into this very clear, like, description of how best to blockade these vehicles. And for the first time, you all just kind of look and you're just like,
Darrison is just in awe.
Hey, I'm Gruel. We do this all the time.
Lumi isn't
You know.
even here, and you can just hear her spirit snapping in the air. Just
See, that's how you do it. You save all your intelligence for the right moments and let it all go.
I knew there
I
was,
did
I knew
exactly
there was
that.
something
My
in
moment's
you. I knew
not
there
here
was
yet.
something in you that I saw it in your eyes. I knew that we would make good friends. Let's fuck shit up.
Yeah.
So, you guys can spend the rest of the afternoon kind of doing this. For this, give me 3 different skill checks, and I'm going to let you
So-
guys decide how you would do these. So, like, maybe it's Korak using intimidation to scare somebody into doing what they need to do.
starting a
Maybe
fight.
you
Yeah,
are...
or that. Yeah, that's
Maybe
Starting a
you're
bar fight that
persuading
spills into the
somebody.
street.
Maybe you're like getting somebody to obey the law and like have to like move barrels in this because it violates code XYZ. Things like that. So y'all come up with what 3 things y'all want to do to try to create this kind of like blockade area to be able to stage this ambush on this transport.
All right.
I like the idea of a
So-
bar fight that's
Yeah,
into the
I want to start the bar fight.
Okay. So we'll start over here. So go ahead and roll me a intimidation check or like an athletics check.
Strength.
Either way. Strength based?
Yeah. Wait, where's intimidation? Oh, I should have done in charisma. Actually, no. 8.
8. So it has enough of a
Can
pull.
Thone help start the
Um,
fight?
No, Thone's
No.
peaceful.
Oh, well, yeah, Thone was gonna
Yeah.
sorry.
Thone knows exactly.
so
what
it's
he's doing.
enough of a like disruption, but it with how it is, it may not last enough to like divert them. It may just slow them down. So it may
That's better than nothing.
exactly. So what would the
take
next
that.
one be?
Thone is going to use probably nature, intelligence, something, wisdom, maybe animal handling, something. There's an animal on the loose.
We can do animal handling. There are enough beasts of burden in the area that you could like do animal handling to like let some beasts loose.
No,
and-
there is a dangerous animal on the loose. It doesn't have to actually be one, but I think that the public needs to be warned that certain areas are off
Deception.
limits until
Okay.
our creatures are caught.
So you can either roll an animal handling check to like let the beast on the loose, or you can roll a deception check to lie about the fact that there are beasts on the loose. Because there are enough beasts of burden that are like transporting things.
How
things
far
like
away are we from Selesnya territory?
Very far.
that. Yeah, y'all are in another.
It's like
Uh,
at where they're going.
Yeah, right now they're in Precinct 2, which is like the
So
Azorius.
Yeah, I would do animal
Set
handling.
some creatures free.
Well, that means that I wouldn't be able to have access to animals.
A little bit of chaos.
There's
so.
beasts of burden.
You just,
He's just
like,
said that there's
somebody's
creatures.
Alright,
donkey
alright.
pull
Yeah,
their
like-
cart,
like-
you just
okay,
let them
we-
go.
Well, no. There's dangerous animals on the loose,
Ooh,
but that's going to be
oh.
perception. Because I need to block off certain areas.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
just causing a scene. I need to make sure that people know that areas are blocked off.
Okay.
So
go
what's
ahead
that going to be to roll? Deception, I guess? Or-
Go ahead and do animal handling so that you can like
Okay.
set them free and try to like
Okay.
corral them into an area so that people are now actively blocking off these blocks to be able to control the beasts.
Catch their donkeys.
That is an 11.
Great. You're pretty easily able to. You don't get like a wide berth, but you get enough to where there's probably like 2 square blocks that people have to blockade because the beasts are just like running free. within these 2 blocks. So you start seeing folks try to like create their own blockades in order to corral the beasts and try to do it, and it's going to last for a pretty good while. So you have that.
Excellent.
So, what I would like to do, because I have this ability and I haven't used it,
Dun, dun, dun.
is I want to use some of my clout in the guild and then leverage a lower ranked Orzhov enforcer to like pull up at like a choke point and like shake everybody down, see if they have debts. You know, like stop them. Hey, we need to see if you're on the ledger. See if you have any debts before you can pass through.
Ooh.
Just make like a nice little slow choke point.
That's
You're gonna go
because
through it's gonna take you
there are
forever.
tithe collectors within Precinct 2. Go ahead and I'll let you roll with advantage, whichever of the
Both.
like whichever thing, whether you're like persuading them, intimidating them, deceiving them.
Not
I guess-
deceiving. That would be bad. Well, I wouldn't want to deceive them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I guess you're not really deceiving.
Because I'm
So
actually
whether
like
you're-
I'm being
whether
truthful.
you're persuading
He's a
them
good
or
boy.
intimidating
You
them.
are very truthful.
We'll
person.
try to persuade them into doing it. Well, no, I should intimidate them because I'm leveraging my guild powers, and I'm from a very famous family. You should know who I am. You don't know who I am.
Come
Oh my god.
16.
16.
That one.
Easy enough. You almost get like a scoff the first time you say it, and then you just kind of like casually drop the Zilzaxos name, and you 3 roll me insight checks as y'all are. Right, as y'all are all
Dice
kind of like working
gods.
to set this up.
15.
Love it.
Inside?
Mhm.
13.
You 2 notice the person that he says this to just goes like pale white, and it's just like immediately like, yes sir, I'm so sorry sir, of course, absolutely, we'll do right as you say. I think that's a great idea, wonderful. We will set up right over here, we'll do it exactly as you say. I will let them know that it was your idea and you were so smart. You're absolutely right, absolutely great, awesome. I'm so sorry sir, absolutely sir.
My
Right
father
on,
will
sir.
be so pleased to
And sets up at the spot that you designate, and they kind of like act as like a tithe taker checkpoint, basically. And they have people start having to declare their goods, and you see a line, probably like a block and a half long, kind of form behind them, of varying amounts of people. So it's like solidly
All
blocked.
right.
I didn't even spend any money.
So you guys have a slowdown point.
Lucian.
You guys have a slowdown point, and then 2 diversions to be able to kind of like cut them off to where you guys would like them to go. And are you guys diverting them to like an alleyway that dead ends? Are you just diverting them to like a little bit less populated alleyway so that you can kind of like get the jump
if
on
there's
them?
a dead end, it'd probably be the
If I
easier.
recall, one of us has the ability to cast a fog that would make any area pretty much open to doing what we need to do.
Yeah, one of us does.
Yes.
I could also create large-scale illusions if we need something.
Well, we could dead end them at a dead end alley. Either one or both of you could create a fog and then make an illusion at the end.
As long as we're undercover, that's all that really matters.
And this would all be towards like twilight, like nightfall is happening.
Unless we're going to just pretend that we're guards and we're taking over. We do have the potions.
But those potions could last a mere second.
We don't even know how they work.
I could absolutely pretend I'm a guard, and I think my skills are more reliable than whatever this goblin potion does.
We don't even know if they work.
That's true. You should try out a potion when it arrives, and we'll go from there.
know that I work. And I've been working on my illusions for a while. I can
You've done a
definitely
great
impersonate
job.
a guard.
I bet you could even make a fake guard appear and have it walk around.
If you're so concerned about the potions, why don't you take it?
Oh, I don't do potions. It's not my thing. Locks it on stealth. That's where my power lies.
I could, with the roadblocks that we have set up, I could impersonate a guard and maybe lead them directly where we want them. Tell them this way, detour around.
Now there's a fine idea.
Well, I just
And
feel like
then, as soon as they take the path,
I just feel like there's so much
There-
more that can go wrong compared to just knocking them out.
I suppose we could do that too.
Well, if we put them in an area where they can't escape, we can definitely do the blot or the knocking out. It's not that hard.
Well, let's see how it goes. Where are we steering them to?
Yeah, to the
dead end.
To the dead end.
The dead end? All right.
Yeah, this dead end alleyway right here.
Yeah.
That's what we really do. Great.
Absolutely.
You know, that one that we
You
passed
know, that
earlier.
right there. Great.
Yeah.
So you guys, are y'all heading back to kind of like watch them load up and transport out, or are y'all just kind of like going to stay nearby near the first slowdown point?
You should
Just kind of
probably-
like watch for them.
Probably keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Well, what's the closest slowdown point? Is it the bar?
Yeah, it's the bar fight
The
that
bar.
you did.
I'm
Gonna
I'm
help
gonna
bar
yeah,
fight?
I'm gonna go and wait at the bar until I see, like, oh, hold on. Hey, Darrison, can you make some sort of signal for me, because I'm not gonna spend all day watching these
Absolutely.
people.
I think I can hang out at our final destination, waiting for them, and just as we direct the transport through, you guys simply fall in line behind them and follow them, and we all meet up at the end.
Sounds fantastic.
Once the transport's moved past and the diversions work, just follow them
Okay.
at a good distance, and we'll be ready.
I'm on it.
I'm gonna wait on the outside of the bar so I can see them
Okay.
at least far enough away that I can make time to make the diversion.
Cool. So you head to the bar. You're heading near the animal. Basically, everybody's heading
Throw
towards the
some
thing that
poor sector
they're
out into the street
around,
to start.
and then are going to be slowly making their way back towards the final diversion point after they see the transport.
Yes.
Understand? Great. So night slowly descends on Ravnica here, a hot summer night. And sure enough, after night descends, it takes maybe about 30-45 minutes, and you finally start seeing the transport walk along. And it is this tall, mechanical type of construct. It's got 6 legs that are kind of like spider walking their way down the street, just kind of walking along. I think of it like kind of like the creepy walking carriage thing in Beauty and the Beast. Did he have?
Okay.
Yeah, think
I
like
was
something
thinking-
similar.
I was thinking
to that.
Halo
Wild
with
West.
the.
I was thinking, well,
Yeah! No, that's even better. That's
Giant
exactly it.
Steampunk
Yes.
spider.
Giant like steampunk spider walking along the street carrying them inside. And you can kind of see both of the guards are up top, and they're just kind of like talking shit to each other, just passing the time as they go. And the bar fight happens, and they kind of like have to take a minute, and like one of them gets down and helps try to like clear some people out of the way, and the other one slowly makes his way through. And they're enough distracted at this point and like going in the direction that you want that you kind of can use this. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Stealth check.
Oh, I get to Minotaur stealth with my hooves. 11.
Perfect. That's totally fine. You kind of like use the distraction around you
12,
to make your way out and towards the direction of Thone. It takes about another 30 minutes, Thone, and they like slowly start arriving, kind of having been distracted by the bar fight and things like that. And you see them arrive at the outskirts of this, and you see them kind of like head to one side of the street and look around, and head to the other and look around, and just this whole entire area is completely blockaded, and so they just kind of like sigh and talk about the fact that this just means that they're going to arrive even later than they expected. And like, honestly, what are people? It's like it's nighttime. Everyone just go home, and they hook their little like loading rig mechanical Wild Wild West spider to the left, as you guys anticipated, and begin making their way down that street. And so y'all kind of like look at each other and like, and use this time to head over towards the next checkpoint area. As they arrive, even through the night, like there are still people who are like, honestly, like I just need to get through. Like I don't understand. So even though a lot of people have just given up and aren't going this way, there's still probably like a half block's worth of people like waiting to get checked out by this tithe taker man who refuses to leave the spot because Lucian's access is standing nearby and just giving him like the most shit-eating grin possible. It's beautiful. And they just make way, no, God, fine, back up, we'll take that alley right there. And they, like, kind of do what you anticipated and back it up a little bit, and they start heading down the long, winding alley that eventually ends at the checkpoint that you guys anticipate. So, Thone and Korak kind of give you the wave over, Lucy, and then y'all make your way down to side streets to hook back up with, and so y'all are all kind of like at little alleyway entrances looking over at Darrison. And Darrison, you can see, you have dark vision.
I do.
So you can actually see a little ways away the lights of the thing. There's not like headlights or anything like that. You actually see that one of them is like holding a lantern up above. But there are enough like lights and machinery and whirring things on top of this thing that it can act like you can actively see it making its way down the alleyway towards you.
Okay, so I want to set up my show at the end of this alleyway with my hood and lantern and like some torches with some like lighting and fire effects and stuff, and then relying on Lucian's fog cloud once we've got them trapped in there. I have a silent image that I want to create as soon as we've got them cornered. So I'm getting like some lighting and like pyrotechnics set up to like really sell this image.
Okay.
For when
So
they
you're
get
you're kind of like hanging out in the alley itself, like on top of a rooftop, like.
And down in the alley, like getting like lanterns and torches and things set up to give some fun flair to.
Okay, and are you waiting to like set them off until?
Yeah,
they...
once they're cornered and the fog cloud goes down, I'm going to be casting a silent image, and I have a chain as well that I'll be rattling for atmospheric effects.
Okay. So you all watch as
Working
the
on a cover
little
story.
you watch as the little loading rig thing makes its way, and it gets probably about like a third down the alley before you see him kind of like hold up, and he kind of like holds the lantern up. He's like, I think this one dead ends. I think we have to go back. I think maybe if we like head back out and if we like hook a right, then maybe they'll do
shaking
it.
the chains down in the alley
Okay.
to like make some noise.
You three hear
Their
the
attention.
rattle of chains.
Should I cast fog?
Yes.
I cast fog cloud.
Okay.
Ow, Garrison whispers.
Do you do it like
Like centered
the-
right in the middle of the thing. So it's like a 20-foot radius outside of where that thing is.
okay? So like pouring back out towards back behind it at like the little junction and like into the alleyway covering it as well. So you watch as this fog cloud just erupts and it just continues like rolling and rolling and rolling and expanding. And you watch it's like, what is...
And
What?
as the fog starts to fill the alleyway, I'm going to create the image of like this fiery demon that's going to crawl up, and I'm going to light the torches and like start moving the lantern all around and making this big scary demon.
Roll deception at advantage and add Lucian's Arcana.
Oh boy, math.
Hope it's not
And
negative.
that's a lovely 5.
5 to Arcana. So I'm at a 27.
27?
Jesus.
So this silent image of this little, like, cackling, crawling, long-nailed demon with, like, eyes of fire begins crawling up one of the thing's legs. And you can see them, like, I don't understand, like, is that, like, a torch or something? And then, like, the flames erupt behind it with the torches and the lanterns. It's like, how do we get at it? And you all hear the sound of like this thing kind of like colliding into the walls next to it in the alleyway. It's like, I don't know how to,
I'm gonna try to. Is one like steering it? Like
They're
up
trying,
on top of it?
but they're
can
failing
I
miserably.
climb? Can I like?
Someone wants to jump up
I
there.
want to tackle one.
Okay, so you guys converge on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
So
for a
you went
leg.
tackling for one, you went. So both of you go ahead and roll me attack rolls. I guess yours would be an athletics check. You're actually attacking one.
Okay.
So roll.
Natural
You
20.
Natural 20. I'm so proud of you.
Parkour.
Come on, parkour,
Garrison,
parkour.
Full
monkeys.
monkey tail
Yes.
with the monkey man's agility.
17 plus, is this going to be initiative? Or
Plus your proficiency plus your strength or dexterity. So plus 3.
okay, so that's a dirty 20.
Yes, dirty 20 and natural 20. So Thone is able to, like, they're all horrified of this thing, and the thing is crashing around. So you all watch Thone's form just kind of, like, lumber into the fog cloud, and then you hear, like, the creaking and of, like, this big old elephant man climbing up this thing, and then you just hear this thing go, I think there's another one, I think it's got me, and then he just clatters to the ground, and you all hear, like, his chain armor just kind of, like, collide, and you hear this oddly heavy thud behind him.
job.
You tackle him to the ground, and he's like flailing around. He can barely see what's on him. He's like, oh god, I think it's got me. Oh god, I think it's got me. So you have him
I wanna
on the ground off of it now.
Knock him out if I can.
Go ahead and roll me another athletics check.
Athletics?
Yeah.
Not so good this time.
It's a 3.
3. He's able to clamber past you. He still can't tell what's going on, but he's like, no, get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. And
I
you'll
can sit
hear-
muscle!
Yeah, I'm gonna come behind him and with the make an attack. I want to use the back of my.
The
No, I have a
butt of it
two-sided.
just-
I have a two-sided axe. I want to use the end. Yeah, I
the
want to
butt
use
of it to
the.
just chunk him.
Yeah.
Cool. So go ahead and roll me an attack roll or an athletics check.
Attack is
Oof.
the 18.
Messy.
18,
Yeah.
18 plus 2 because I'm.
Yeah, come on, dirty 20.
Yeah.
Once again, you got he's like backing up. He's like and just like crumples over down on the ground. And you just hear you three all hear like banging from inside of this thing, just like, we heard there's demons. Let us out. Let us out. Let us out. We're sorry. We're sorry.
Can
Let
I
us
find
out.
the
Oh
opening?
god.
Can I find the opening? To...
Roll me a investigation check at disadvantage since there's a fog cloud around.
I'm just concentrating on keeping the
Yeah.
fog cloud up. Two.
Two.
Cover.
You
Pawing
feel
around
around
on the-
and you try to grab at a few things that you think are like cogwheels or like doorknobs, and like nothing is budging or moving.
Does the guard that I threw off have a key on him? I'm gonna-
Roll me a investigation check.
Investigation has nat
Nat
20.
20.
Oh, you're good. You feel around and you feel a like a small circular thing that's got like an outward, not like an indention, but whatever the
Opposite.
other one is.
An out
knob.
Outdention.
All right,
Yeah?
so I've got his
Thank you.
knob. All right.
You got
English
the
here.
outdention of an Azorius symbol.
All right.
And it's kind of like wrapped on a chain that you see that's kind of like wrapped around his wrist.
All right.
Well,
Well, that's
wait.
mine now.
If they're knocked out, then why don't we put down the fog?
I don't want other people to see us.
Can you move it?
That's right.
Yeah. Wait.
Can you move the fog cloud?
No.
We don't need it to be
It
moved.
stays
I
there
have
as
the
that. I
key.
think so.
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
go
we
let
just
out
need
the
to find the
goblins.
door. Can I start like waving
It
around?
takes you the better part of 10 minutes. Lucy, in this time, you're kind of just standing outside. You see a number of people kind of like walk by and giving like odd glances over at you in the fog cloud. There's
Good evening, everyone. Nothing to see here. Just a roving fog cloud. I'll see at home.
roll a, I guess, like either a persuasion or deception
I'm
check.
not good at either of those things. We'll do persuasion. 20.
Hey, so you're great at them. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're fine. They just kind of like nod. They're like, of course, absolutely. I don't want to ask him late at night. This
Had
is
just
horrifying.
a little too much to drink.
And
I'm
he's
sure it
just
gets
like-
home safe.
He's just like walking away. So it takes on the
It's
better
his
part
pet
of 20
fog.
minutes,
Yeah,
and
pet fog
Lucian
cloud.
just like nonchalantly
Redirects
telling
traffic.
people to don't worry about it. And eventually, you guys open the door. Who opens the door?
Well, I got the key. I'm just gonna
You
pat
have it?
around until I
Okay.
find it.
So you find it, and you find it where it imprints, and then you can turn it, and it basically now acts as a doorknob once it kind of like kunks into the side of this thing. And you turn the door, and you open it, and as you do, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, shouldn't we have told these goblins that we're here to help?
That's a proficiency bonus. So 13.
13. You're able to duck out of the way, but you have a goblin that kind of like comes barreling out shoulder first, like hands still bound. Just comes like barreling out shoulder first and is trying to like gnaw at you like, you'll never take us alive.
Asterix, Smiznod, Fixo! I don't remember the other one's name.
I don't.
We're here to help.
Obviously.
We're on a bit of a time constraint, so I'm going to try to explain things quickly.
Yeah, I can't say literally anything. I don't know what's going on right now.
That's normal.
Can I usher them to the back of the alley? Like, away from the fog cloud?
Oh, yeah, to the other end.
Out where it clears up?
Yeah, so you guys head further into the alley, because, like, further deeper into the alley is not covered by the fog cloud.
Yeah.
So you kind of, like,
Can we keep
help...
an eye on the unconscious dudes?
You kind of help
Probably just
usher them
make sure
forward,
they don't wake up.
and they all come out of the fog cloud. They're just like, what happened? I don't understand. What's going on?
This is what we call in the biz a breakout. You guys are free.
Good.
Good to go. We're making sure that you don't go to prison.
Who sent you?
Dez's, actually.
Does that roll a deception check?
Yeah.
It
One of your
wasn't
friends.
Dezaz, it was-
15.
Why would you?
It was Rickig.
Why would you lie?
She's not good at it, so yeah, you're fine. She rolled a 15 too, and she's like, I don't... How did he know where to find... I don't...
The man's...
Okay.
The man, he's a smart goblin. He doesn't seem like
Where are
it,
you
but
taking us?
He tipped
Yeah.
us off. We're gonna get you guys back to base, back to the Kindergold pit.
No. We can't go back there. We can't...
Well, this is
No.
awkward because we don't have a lot of time, and we need you to go.
We can go literally anywhere but there. We can't show our face back. We can't
Why
do
not?
it. We violated like the one rule that we're never allowed to violate. Like we got caught. Doesn't matter if we did anything. They're not gonna believe us.
Your boss wants you. I don't know.
Do you have a way of proving that we didn't say anything? Because we sure as fuck don't. He's not gonna believe us. They're just gonna take us out the minute that we get back, just to make sure.
Calm
believe
down,
us.
calm down.
That's not my
I don't-
problem.
I'm not
I'm not-
there, so I can't say this.
That's not my
But
problem.
like they know they didn't talk because they didn't talk to me
Yeah,
when I was trying to get them to talk.
we know you didn't say anything because we have our lawyer who spoke to you before. Like, you.
That's great. How many days have passed since then? The bosses don't know what we did and didn't say. They're just gonna assume that we did say something to save our skins.
To save your skins, we saved your skins on behalf of the boss. I don't understand the confusion here. I think we're all in the good and clear.
Roll a persuasion check.
24.
Not 24. You see Asterix just kind of like take a minute. She's like, it's fine, sisters. Just let me handle it. She's like, okay, but you're gonna be there when we get there, and you're gonna tell them that we didn't do anything wrong.
I'm absolutely gonna be there because if I'm not there, I don't get paid. So.
Doesn't
Of
matter
course
if
I'll
you
be
get
there.
paid or not. If they don't believe us, it's our heads. We'd rather rot in prison with our heads than sit out here without them. Do you understand me?
I understand. I plan to keep
agree.
everyone's heads right where they are. But right now, the heads need to not be in this alleyway, and they need to be well on their way because those people will wake up any minute, and I don't want to be here when they do.
Okay, let's go. Mizna, Phoenixel. You see two of them just gonna go.
It's not
She's like, y'all, get back inside. Go. Go. No, but I didn't say anything else. I said go. Get back inside. We're going.
back in the
We're leaving.
in the thing.
Look, if we're gonna lose our heads, at least we're gonna get an awesome ride out of it.
I don't know how to drive it.
Don't worry.
I could just take hold of it.
She's
And
like, it's fine. We'll work it out. And Estrix and Styx will begin like climbing.
Excuse
up.
my manners. Can I take a dagger and like cut the bonds? Or are they like handcuffs? Are they ropes or?
It's like
metal?
little magical strings that are bound. But you can like spend a minute kind of like fuddling with them.
If you guys think you can drive the thing, you guys can head back. I was going to make sure that we cover our tracks with the two unconscious guards.
Leave him here. Let's go.
She's like, great, let's go.
They're not
And
my
Asterix
issue.
and Stixel like load up, and they kind of like take the controls together. They're like, all right, Stixel, you take care of those. I'm gonna take care of steering. We're gonna go this way. Okay, remember, we have to stick to alleys. We can't prove anything. We can't go on the main roads. We have to do that. Ready? Let's go. They may or may not have stolen a vehicle or two. In the
How far
past.
are we from the Kindercoal pit?
It's a couple hours.
A couple hours. Okay, I will. Is there like a cab to this machine, or is there somewhere that I
there
can,
is
like
a holding facility, and then there is the two the spots up top.
And is
to
it like
control
that's
it.
like completely exposed though?
The spots up top are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucien, you watch, or you hear as the thing begins to like back its way out of the alleyway, and then as it begins to make its way back to the left, back towards Precinct 5 and 10th Street, you watch as two goblins that are bound at wrist atop this thing are just leading it like it's no business.
Can I? Oh boy.
Well, that worked out better than expected.
I'm gonna follow the machine because
If there are no dramatic twists, the story will wrap up soon.
Can I just ride in the holding cell?
Yeah.
All right.
Miznar and Phoenixel are back there.
oh god, I
Hello, goblin
I
friends.
think this
I'm gonna
They-
I'll
they
get up
just, like,
top with
Kind of like look up at you and kind of like are really terrified, just like.
I'll get up top with the other two and ask, I guess. So, are there any checkpoints between here and the?
Oh, don't worry.
fountain?
This is not our first time being able to liberate a vehicle.
Okay. I guess I'm here to cover you. I guess.
Great.
You take the lead.
Whenever we give you the signal, just kind of like hop off and make a distraction like a few blocks away, and we'll be good to go.
Okay. After you.
Okay, Howard, are you following along behind, or?
Yeah, I go running after them, and they hear in the distance my voice yelling like, "Hey guys, you forgetting something?"
Everyone, I'm still here, everyone.
Lucien, I
could
don't
just
want you to
pick
be
Lucien up and
tied
throw
up in
him.
this. If you wanted to take your own way home,
I can throw you on top
just
of the
didn't
carriage.
want to make you culpable.
I'm just gonna continue to run after. Can I catch up to it? Is it like faster than me?
No,
How
like
fast is this thing?
you can follow along with it. I mean,
Okay.
this is a big lumbering thing, and like
Yeah,
yes,
it's
it's
slow,
a magical
right?
construct, but at the same time, it has to like move 6 legs. And,
Yeah,
like, each one of them have to be operated.
I run up and then like throw myself on a leg
Just
and hold on. And I'm like, yeah.
For 2 hours.
I can,
I'm sure that'll
I can
work out
reach
well.
down and pull him up into the.
Cool. So
with us.
at this
Thank
point,
you.
everybody go ahead and roll Constitution saving throws as it is far past evening. And we are becoming
Lovely.
sleepy.
19.
24.
Oh wait, what's the constitution?
6.
6 plus.
6.
Oh, what's your Constitution?
No, not 6. It's just a 6. Where's Constitution?
In
It's gonna be
saving
plus 3.
throws,
I don't have.
you're proficient. So plus,
Oh,
plus your constitution
Ha.
and plus your proficiency, right?
Mhm.
So plus 5.
Oh, yeah, you're
Oh,
fine.
right.
Because our proficiency
Yeah.
plus is 2 right now.
You're fine.
I for some reason I forgot that Constitution was its own
It's
little
like, no,
category.
you're
I thought
all
it was a
good.
side category.
So 11,
I'm
you're fine. You got
19.
19's fine.
13.
24.
What?
13.
13, you were fine. So everyone's okay. No worries. You all, quite a few of you are used to late hours.
Creature
Some
of
of
the
you
night.
just, hanging in the garden, but still, late hours. So that being said, I need 2 separate distractions to get yourselves back to base without arousing suspicion. So somebody can do like a deception check. Somebody
As
can,
far as this district goes, how Rakdos neutral to friendly is it?
in the southernmost precincts, none at all. Like they're not friendly.
Not in the direction that we're going?
Closer once you start heading north, but in the south portion of District 10 is Precinct 1, which is Orzhov territory, and Precinct 2, where you guys currently are, which is Azorius territory. Neither of which are like particular fans and friends of the Rakdos.
That just makes it all the better distraction. If I were to put on a show, nothing violent, but a display, some illusions, magic tricks, some satirical lampooning of Upper Orzhov families and.
I love it.
Azorius
Love it.
families.
Love it. Roll me a performance check.
18.
Yes. You get enough people's like attention that it starts getting like the local guard, like the late night guards' attention around the area. They aren't doing anything, but like they're now paying much more attention to you to make sure that you don't do something
I
that
haven't broken
violates the law.
anything or hurt
Exactly.
anyone.
But they will pay much more attention to you.
But there is
And,
a hat
like-
out for tips.
And completely like
Anyone's enjoying the show.
oblivious to like a block away as you're performing, and you can see through the wide alleyway, like if the camera is up close on the guardsman, you just see in the wide alleyway across just a and the up and down body of Lucian holding on tightly as it makes its way
I
through.
pulled them into the cab.
No, it's
I
funnier
helped
this way,
them.
though.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Commit to the bit. Commit
Yes.
to the bit. You are a performer. Commit to the bit.
There's
And
a
you
little
guys
hat
are
out
able
if
to.
anyone wanted to.
Yeah,
throw some
and you're
tips
able
my way.
to.
Just
Oh,
Just
why not? You get
I'm a street performer. This is how I make.
you
money.
get 2 silver.
Woo! That is more than I made in my last show. So happy to have it.
You mean the one with the guards that we knocked out? You couldn't have paid you?
That one doesn't.
I forgot to check if they
That
had
one's
any
off
money.
off the books. That show.
So I need one more such roll
I
while moving through Precinct
mean,
1
does it have to be a roll?
or something.
I just want to like when I see like a crowd of people ahead that look like they need distracting, like a good distraction, I just like jump off because I'm still close to the ground on the thing, and I run up and I just like casually cast grease underneath a big group of people.
This is why I leave the distractions to you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I could throw some fire bombs at people,
Distractions are
but
more fun when you have magic.
yeah.
One person looks like they're gonna hold on, but ends up getting like tugged down by an Orzhovan noblewoman in a really big hat, who does not want her hat to touch the ground, and like kind of almost pulls this person down so that her hat doesn't hit this puddle of grease. And you just see them up at the top, be like, sorry, we're transporting this to Azorius facility 29-J. We're so sorry, it's leaking. It's in disrepair, we're so sorry. But they're goblins and they're far at the top of the thing, so nobody can really, like, see who's saying it. And all these people are vastly distracted by the grease that is underneath them.
Well, they're fine clothes. How? What a pity.
That was beautiful.
I'm so sad Lumi's not here. She would be so appreciative of this.
She always has like good moments.
I
Only there for the
know,
bad.
I know. Yep, that's the thing. So you guys managed to make your way through Precinct 1 unscathed and ungreased yourselves. And y'all make your way up and get close by the Kindle Coal Pit. And Estrick says, "Okay, we are gonna stash this in this warehouse right here. If anything goes wrong, we are heading right back here and getting in this thing and getting the hell out of Dodge. So,
Sounds fair.
uphold your end of the bargain and keep us safe."
Of course.
She just kind of like,
Shit.
Just a dashing.
she just kind of like comes walking out of that warehouse facility with like another dagger strapped to her side. And just kind of like cautiously looking at you. as y'all walk up to the front of the Kindle Coal pit, still lively and excitable at this hour. And the guard kind of notices you and just kind of like does this and starts leading y'all around the back to the side entrance, back around the back of the Kindle Coal pit, along with Estrix, Stixel, Miznar, and Felixel. And that is where we are going to go ahead and take a break. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us for the first half of episode 7 here tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We do have to give a quick shout out. Oliver D&D, thank you so much for recognizing on our break things the swapped placement of things. Thank you so much. We're going to take care of that so much. We did not notice it. So props to you, sir, for checking us on that. You get all of the internet bucks that internet bucks give you. Thank you guys so much. Hang out with us in chat. Again, if you guys are stepping in for the very first time, please let us know in chat how you found out about us. And we look forward to seeing you in about 10 or 15 minutes after the break. Thanks so much, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you all for sticking us through the break. We have to give a special shout out to all of our fabulous people in chat tonight that have been hanging out with us through it. Care Bear, Sir Guppy, Dr. Swiggums, and Oliver D&D, thank you guys so much for hanging with us tonight and being very active in chat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have our fabulous DP and EP Zane at the ready, able to answer any questions that you guys might have. And we'll be able to check in afterwards as well, or y'all can hit us up on any of our social media channels. So, hopping back in, you all have arrived back at the Kendall Coal Pit with the 4 goblins that you have successfully broken out of prison. I'm so incredibly proud of you guys. That was very well done. The goblins did warn Darrison that the Shattergang brothers' intentions may not be wholly altruistic in trying to get them out of prison, in order to potentially silence them so that they cannot spill any Shattergang secrets. So you all are led through a side entrance. You are met at said side entrance by Bab herself. Checking everybody in. She's got a little notebook at the ready with a little quill. She's ready to go. She's like, great, Percy, awesome, Solomon, Bismuth. I'm still sad that Gentry's not here. It's fine. Hello, Malachi. How are you?
I'm doing great, Babs. How are you doing this evening?
So much better now.
Oh no. You gave her a name.
Great. And of course we have Estrix, Stexel, Miznov, Phoenixel. How are you all? Welcome back. It's so good to see you. Estrix is just like, shove it, Bab. She's like, somebody's in a temper. I'm just going to put a little X next to your name so I know not to say anything bad around you. Okay, great.
Do we know what this book is? I don't know.
These are private thoughts.
A little black.
And the docket for the boss.
I didn't mean to offend you.
And also my journal, I did write your name on a few pages with a little heart around it next to Bab. I'm not gonna lie, Malachi, you are incredibly attractive. Just saying.
I bet you
the boss doesn't need to see that page. He needs to see this one where everybody's checked in. So please, head on inside, please. Head on inside. The boss is waiting for you. And you all walk in through the back entrance, and here is where a lot of the beer and liquor and things are staged. And you can see at the far end there are a few stills and vats where they presumably brew something. Probably multiple things. Just depends on what they needed to be brewed. Incredibly clear that they don't clean it in between things. They just kind of
questionable potion.
Yep, they're just great. And they lead you back in through one of the side doors, back into the main space itself, and you can see there seems to be some kind of metal, metal roll down garage door type thing that's in front of the mesh that you're used to seeing for this office space. It's kind of closed off, and you have Rickig, the one who was burned, kind of half awake, propped up on a chair on the side, and Gardigig has his chair behind the table. And it's just come in, come in. It's so good to see you all of you. And kind of gives a look over at the 4 goblins as they kind of walk in and are refusing to make eye contact with either of them. It's so, I see you all have successfully accomplished a task. Very well done. Did you have to kill anybody? Wait, did you get to kill anybody?
Well,
tell me details.
You know,
some gore.
I don't kiss and
tell. This one did it, didn't he? What did you do? Did you go on? Did you get him with your horns? Tell me you did it. Tell me you did it with your horns. Do it. Yeah. Say it. Just say it. Say you did it.
Whatever you're orgasming about over there, I did it.
That just means you didn't do it. you see him just kind of scowl and scoff, and you hear Bab just kind of give a little bit of a chuckle, and he just takes a coin out of one pocket and puts it in Bab's hand. She's I told you, boys, they're smarter than that. He's great. So I see you all have brought back compatriots. Thank you for your service. If there's nothing else that you will need from me, we can just go ahead and pay you and send you on your ways, and we can start debriefing these four.
Absolutely, I would love to collect our pay if we have it at the ready. And are we all hanging around for the debrief? I'd love to tell you how everything went.
He's like, oh, I don't know if we'll necessarily need all of you to stay for the debrief. You all can go. You've had a long day. I feel like this is just Shatter Gang business, to be fair.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm a bit offended. I thought we were cool like that. I mean, Shatter Gang business, the Shatter Gang mission. I'm here in the Shatter Gang.
At this point, Estrix kind of like stops us, like, save it, Godagig. They know that you're gonna try to kill us. I told them everything.
Excuse me?
What?
Was I not filled in on something?
Well, this.
No
No offense, but you have complicated things a bit because.
Godagig just you hear like a little scrape across the wood as his nails kind of like drag into it, and he's like, Estrix, this is exactly why we needed to properly debrief you. We were afraid that you would say things to people.
I would like to clarify that the only thing Estrix has told us is that they felt like they were unsafe going back to work and that they wanted to simply make sure that someone could help their transition back into the workforce.
Make a persuasion check.
7.
He just kind of looks over. He's like, no. You're done talking. Mr. Double Talk over here. I'm not about it. Okay? Here. You can take your bag. And he kind of like hands a little bag towards the edge of the table. And it gives like a pretty hefty little like clink to it. He's like, you can take that. And if you're going to try any more of that double talk, Bab can escort you into the back room.
I can assure you that I'm not double talking anyone. We had an agreement that we would break your friends here out of jail, and along the way, I've made an agreement here with Estrix that we would ensure their safety. That we have agreed to. We attempted to vouch for them on legal matters, and as we already went over before, they kept their mouths shut. These are trustworthy and reliable goblins.
And do the rest of you agree with this? Malachi?
I didn't make an agreement with
Bismuth?
anyone.
Did
Swallowman?
they? Well, Malachi,
Yeah.
did they or did they not tell you anything when you offered legal counsel?
I can swear that upon my initial questioning of the goblins some weeks ago, they would not offer me any information despite my wildest machinations to try and get them to do so.
And Malachi can
What is it?
Natural one.
Oh.
be Malachi can be very persuasive, and they did not crack under the
I
pressure.
can't just laugh. That could mean like it's a 20 or
No, it was a natural one.
You saw the whites of his eyes.
I just knew it was an extreme either way.
He just kind of looks at you. He's like, okay. What do the two of you have to say about it?
They didn't say anything. And if anything, that proves their loyalty. And if you, I mean, that's worse than Gruul if you kill somebody who's loyal. That's Boros. Or you want to be a Boros? I knew that look.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh, I am proficient in intimidation. If I can remember. 4 plus 2, so 6.
He rolled a 3, baby.
Okay, cool.
This die's gonna sit over here.
It's going in timeout.
After a 1 and a 3, it's done.
And to be very honest, these goblins were held in an Azorius facility. Have you ever known an Azorius to listen to a goblin about anything?
I mean, like, you got a point, but at the same time, the Missourians have ways of, like, extracting the truth. And how are we supposed to believe whether or not they actually didn't do that?
That's
to these
where they were
boys?
going.
Well,
These guys have been by themselves in a cell with no real contact.
you do raise a good point.
Roll a deception check.
All right, charisma. Oh, 14.
6. Stop it.
You do raise a good point.
Your pride dice are not healthy.
All right. All right. You raise a point. It's fine. It's fine. But, if I'm gonna be generous here and turn over a new leaf and not just, murder my good-for-nothing gang members who can't actually, like, keep from getting themselves caught. What do I get in return? I need something.
Well, you have the return of 4 of your most reliable.
I
Killed
think I
members?
caught. Let's not throw around words like reliable
Wha-
at this point.
Getting caught once is. I mean, that could happen to anyone.
Have you gotten caught before?
Has Ricky gotten caught before?
Oh.
Roll an intimidation advantage. That's a good line.
That's a natural 20.
Come on with that one-liner.
24.
I'm scared. I'm not even gonna roll a die against that. He's like, touche. But do this for me instead. If we're gonna be showing compassion and mercy as goblins here, we gotta have some way of having something on old Mr. Krinko these days. How about I do everyone here a favor and not murder 4 people? And y'all do me a favor.
I think that sounds fair. I think.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
Asterix,
No.
Well,
That's
certainly, Asterix, Smiznot, still, Miznar here, need to take this opportunity to regain your trust.
They
So
just
I think this is
start.
a job perfectly suited for them.
They start just immediately doing the thing that Pain and Panic do for Hades. Just, we are worms, worthless worms. We're so sorry. And he's just like, yeah, that's an entertaining sight. Y'all can do that for like the next 2 hours, okay? Just like do that for me. That's great. Stay there. That's beautiful. But we need some way to show that we still got clout. We can't just like lose our reputation. We got people captured. Yeah, we broke them out, but we couldn't show that we were the ones that did it. So we need something public to show that we still have a place of stature here.
That sounds like your thing.
I'm a fan of this idea.
Oh, God.
Great. So here's the thing. We heard that there's this big to-do family. They're called the Zilzaxoses, and they're supposed to be throwing this big party at the end of the week. Okay. So, maybe you work it out where we can provide some of the booze for this party. Get our name out there. We got ourselves a legitimate gig. And, maybe earn a little bit of credit with some people. Do you think this is something you all could manage? Could work out for us?
Wait. Now I think this is where you've lost me. We're not crashing the party?
I mean, it is against every better judgment in my body.
It's
to have a desire to want to crash this
Every
party. Let me tell you, I want
fiber.
nothing more than to just like run through those damn halls and break every living object I possibly could, and possibly like a few kneecaps. But, I want to do something public to show that Krinko motherfucker that we here at the Shadow Gang are a legitimate group. We're trying to legitimize this. Down with the guilds. We can show that we have a group that's able to still make a name for themselves outside of the guilds.
And
What do you think of that?
what
Damn
drinks?
Smarts.
It's a
I think
what
so.
drinks are you going to be offering at this event?
Or alcohol that we serve.
Your very best
That
alcohol.
trash?
Excuse me?
You're going to be serving something
Pardon.
exceptional, correct?
Horak has a very particular palate.
Our moonshine is delicious.
It is.
It
I mean,
tastes like oil.
I bought a bottle for myself just the other day. I was gonna share it with my loved ones.
I mean, if y'all can't support us in all of our business ventures.
I am a fan of getting the Orzhov drunk on moonshine. I think I can get behind that.
I think we can do this.
Well, what you're asking is so elaborate. We would have to make some kind of inroads with the Orzhov somehow. This is an incredibly long and strenuous job.
I
I don't
mean,
think it's a hard sell.
You all
for
managed to
such
get
quality
yourselves
moonshine.
into an Azorius facility and extricate 4 goblins and get out with, like, no scratches on any of yous. You can make this happen. You talkers. This one's a talker. He's been double talking me all night.
I've been single talking you very
Okay,
fairly.
like you were like 1.5 talking me. Don't lie.
Okay. You know,
That's right.
it's,
But
it's in my nature.
I think this is
how-
something we can do.
I think
I'm just saying, you're a pretty boy. Bab here is absolutely infatuated with you. I keep having to get her to stop writing your name in little hotseas in our docket. Those are official documents that she's writing this in, you understand? She's keeping the minutes. And the minutes do not include all of the various things that she wants to do to your lips.
I just think that there has to be something else that we could do for you. This just would be just too far outside of our wheelhouse.
Well, I am all ears if you have a better suggestion. What's something public that you could manage for me?
I think we can definitely do this. At least we are.
I was gonna say destroy Krinko's reputation. That's what you're all about, is your fight with him, right?
Well,
Always for
direct
violence.
attack,
This is
that's-
much more
No.
peaceful.
I'd rather deal with yours up than Krinko's. Have
Why?
you not heard the stories of Krinko?
he's...
Huh?
Look,
you mean the
we're
bedtime
right.
stories my
We're,
mother used to tell me to
we're-
put me to sleep?
we're right
Probably.
to be a little
Oh.
afraid of him.
He's a mob
Even-
boss.
He's the reason that 3 brothers are now 2. Like,
So sad.
It is.
That's sad.
they just bless him, and they kind of like get like hold their little, they hold their monocles and like kiss it and head it over, and you look over and there's a very crudely painted painting of a goblin with a very fine monocle and a very pencil thin mustache hanging on the wall, and there's a very like crudely put together like candlestick visage underneath it. Just candlelight vigil for the fallen goblin.
Can I take a moment to discuss things with my compatriot?
Of course. Here. Bab, see them to the side room. They can share a drink of our finest moonshine. Have a moment to themselves in private, and then they can come back in. Go ahead. Bab will be out there with you, taking the minutes.
So,
Let's
we're in the-
accept the deal and then swap it out with the best stuff
Here's-
we can find.
here's the thing. I Have a bit of drink. Can I get a glass of that moonshine?
I was like, of course, right away. Here you are. Pours one for everybody. And then pulls out of nowhere almost, this beautiful crystal-stemmed glass. And it's like, this one's for you. Only the best.
Thank you so much.
Can we take...
I'm
everyone,
honored.
I would like everyone to take a whiff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try a sample of this.
Take a whiff.
I've had it.
So,
I had it
Bob
already.
walking away takes a really hard swig from the full bottle itself, belches a little bit, and heads back.
I've had
inside
it
with
from the
boss.
bar, so.
So hold on. I didn't agree to any of this. No one told me that there were going to be dead goblins. No one told me there was an extra part to this that involves possibly angering my father.
There are no dead goblins. I'd like to make that clear. I felt like I did a pretty good job making sure there were no dead goblins tonight. I wanted to avoid dead goblins because, again, the less I'm trying not to make you complicit in anything.
We're on a road to
looking out
peace.
for you, Lucy.
And that is important.
Sure.
I
No one's
think
died today.
I would like, first off, I would like to pitch an idea to the table, and I would like to start with everyone sampling the wares. I'd like everyone to take a whiff of this
All right,
lovely beverage.
I'm gonna try a
small
sip of this.
sip, just get a taste of the flavor. Let's see what
I'm
we're working
pouring
with.
mine off to the side. I've already
So-
had this at the bar.
I have enhanced senses. I really want to know what this tastes like.
Great.
Oh, no.
Give me a perception check at advantage. Ooh, okay.
Okay, 19.
19. So taking a whiff, it's like, it is not as like painfully acidic as the bottle that was delivering the note.
Okay.
To be fair, it also doesn't have like greased up parchment sitting inside of it. But it definitely is a little bit of more of like a harsh taste than like a smooth liquor. Incredibly moonshiny, but with like some type of like acidic, citrusy aftertaste.
I mean, I have a barrel of very old papayas that's been fermenting for a while, and consider myself somewhat of an expert in these matters.
Here's my pitch. Everyone's had the moonshine, and it is foul. It's disgusting. This is
I
sewer
can't argue
water.
with that.
Like, now, let me show you the plan. And I would like to wave my hand over my goblet and use prestidigitation to both flavor it and make it smell like fine elderberry
Can you
wine or something.
prestidigitate
Something very
flavor?
like delicious and refined and
But maybe like the barrel of papaya that.
But I want to make it taste and smell wonderful
Okay, great.
with my prestidigitation. Now try. And
I already poured mine
offer a,
out.
offer a
is it?
sip to everyone.
It seems to taste pretty great.
Tastes expensive, right?
You want
I
to pull
didn't
this
think there was
off?
anything wrong with the original.
You want to pull this off at a large party?
So my idea is all that Gardigig wants us to do is to sell it to the Orgeon.
Yes, we could
So,
sell
hold
anything
on.
and say that they made
We
it.
arrange a meeting with whoever purchases the spirits for this event. We let them sample the wares, our lovely, wonderful, tasty, delicious wine, sell it all off, make some quick cash, and then all the better, everyone at the Orgeon party gets trashed.
Well, if they drink it.
You think all these stuck up rich folk aren't going to just choke it down out of respect? because
They
don't
won't
wanna make a
admit that
scene?
it tastes awful.
But
No one's gonna make a stink and say that this incredibly expensive alcohol that was served by this well-to-do, wonderful family is disgusting.
That's a brilliant point.
And they're all gonna drink it, and they're all gonna be trashed, and
I trust
we've
you
got it in,
entirely.
right? And we
No.
get to see this
Yes,
happen
No.
live.
let's do
But-
it. Absolutely.
I have no. He wants to make this public, he's got a beef with Krinko. Krinko's gonna hear about this, and he's gonna attack the party, most likely. That sounds like
He's going to attack an
that's it.
Orzhov
There are
party.
much
So,
larger problems than all
how
of
is-
this.
It is, and it's stupid.
How is getting a bunch of Orzhov trashed on Goblin Moonshine not a
My-
display?
I agree, and it sounds fantastic,
So-
and I want to get trashed on
I don't
Moonshine,
want to
too.
die by the hands of his father
Let-
if he
let
gets
us-
upset.
Let us just think about this for a moment. Do you really think that my father, a very high-level advocate for Orzhov, is going to be fooled by the magic of a street magician?
No. Only
Is
the
your-
sampler is going to be fooled.
Does your father directly deal with who buys the wine and who brings the cakes to the party? You don't think he has people
Yeah.
for that?
I wouldn't imagine.
I see you haven't met my father. Let me assure you that he makes sure only the finest wine that he has sampled himself is served at his parties.
Taste it for yourself.
Oh, that sounds
This
amazing.
sure tastes like the finest wine I've ever sampled.
But again, I actually agree with him. A street magician.
And furthermore, my father hates goblins. He's not going to buy any wine from any goblins, regardless of what it tastes like.
So we're worried about buying wine from a goblin.
And that's why it's not going to
Obviously,
work.
it works because I'm the one making the sale. If you're worried
Brilliant! I trust you completely.
I make the sale. I'm the one who can make the wine and make the moonshine taste good.
I don't see why we
So,
don't just use my moonshine. It
arrange
tastes
him-
amazing.
Arrange a meeting. I sell the wine. I don't foresee this going poorly.
And then
This is the
the
most
party
brilliant
will know-
idea I've ever heard.
And then the party will know of the wine of the great Darrison LeMay instead of the wine of the Shadow Gang brothers, who
says
to remind
Darrison
you are the
LeMay?
people who want us to make a giant public statement for them.
I will push my chair out and I will stand up from the table. Who said Darrison LeMay is making the sale? I told you guys, I've been working on some things. And I've been getting pretty good with these illusions. And I will do little magic fingers. I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself
Beautiful.
and make myself look like a refined elven gentleman in lavish robes, just gaudy and as like over the top rich person, like not like actually what the Orzhov look like, but more extra. Just like
extra.
Oh, no.
Darrison's perception of
Man.
how over the top
Like
and gaudy
the
and-
judgment of like how extra AF Orzhovans actually
Yeah.
are versus how they
absolutely
God, I love
just
it.
completely
Beautiful.
ridiculous. Full face of makeup, just like pale white but contoured, angular, very like as extra as I could possibly look.
Roll deception at advantage.
19.
19. It looks pretty damn good.
Really? Really? I find this offensive. Highly offensive.
But
so
the
I-
Orzhov just
What-
strive
what's
for
the-
that
should
all
I-
the time.
Should I tone it down a bit? I mean,
I
Is the contouring too much?
Should you tone it down a bit?
I'm only selling
The
the
church
finest
finds
wine in
out.
all of
They're
Ravnica.
going to
The
kill
detail,
us.
the detail I am trying to call to your attention is the Shadow Gang want a public display for them, for their name.
Yes.
How are they going to have a public display if it's not them selling the wine to my father?
We take credit for it once everyone's trashed.
No, he still brings up a good point. It's not them.
I mean, I can be there on behalf of the Shadow Gang brothers, but, you know, he's not going to buy from a goblin, he'll buy from a respectable elf.
It's true, and you're a very
Is-
sparkly elf. It's
Who's in
amazing.
Does
dealings
he have a
with
problem with elves,
goblins.
Lucian, roll an insight check.
Oh no, where's my D20 at?
Oh no, what have you done?
Your D20 was right there with it.
16.
16. So, one thing that your father said kind of like sticks out to you, that he wanted to know which Orzhov families have connections to groups outside of the Orzhov.
Oh, that's right.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing to portray an Orzhovan with connections to the Shatter Gang. That, to your father, that just means something that he can leverage.
I just remembered something. Oh my god. I think you have actually figured this out. My father is throwing this entire party to try and leverage information for Orzovan families connected to other entities outside of the guild. So he might waylay his hate of goblins if he thinks it will give him access to an Orzovan who has connections to a powerful crime group outside of the guild.
My Orzovan family is very closely tied with the Shatter Gang. On the up and up, of course. I mean, this is very in between.
And what family is that?
between.
What family is that, Lucy? What family is that, Darius?
Percy.
Percy. What family is that, Percy? I'm getting confused.
I know so many names.
That would be the.
My Orzovan Stonecarver family is also highly respected.
Everyone's got a family.
You know, I'm just gonna grab the nearest goblin moonshine that I didn't pour out.
Family. Arison family.
Is it the Arison?
No. You're putting me on the spot. We can workshop it. We have time.
And thanks to these potions we still have, we can all be Orzhov. There's no way this could ever go wrong. I love your plan.
I'll sell Goblin Moonshine. I will not sell you on a Goblin Potion. I don't trust that thing as far as I can throw it.
I don't need a potion to be Orzovan. Thank you very much.
Well, of course,
I don't either.
So you need to be yourself.
I don't need a potion.
Educate the meeting, and I need to be myself.
Oh God. I have to
Bab
set
kind of
this up.
pokes her head in and is like, so, has there been an agreement?
We'll do it.
Yes.
Oh my god, I knew you would be the voice
I've
of reason,
dropped
Malachi.
As soon as I hear her voice, though, I'll drop the disguise so that she doesn't see it.
Which is like, ooh, I knew you would be the voice of reason, Malachi. One more hot next to your name. Boss, they said they in for it. Come in. It's like, wonderful. Great. So, here's the thing. And he kind of like drops off the money bags. It's like, so everyone, here's the deal. The party is later on this week. You're gonna stop by here probably, I don't know, like a day or two before the party. However you need to work it out. You'll take some of the boots. You'll sell it to the people. You'll make sure that everyone knows that it's our name and our business that did it. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Wonderful. We want to make sure that Krinko and his bunch of buffoons knows that we are the ones who actually got in good with the Orzhov. No one gets in good with the Orzhov. Well, okay, technically, like, literally fucking everybody gets in good with the Orzhov. They just have to pay for it. We don't want to pay for it. We want to sell them on our booths. We want them to pay us. That's awesome. Speaking of pay, here you go. And everybody is going to receive 20 Azorius Electrum pieces. It's 20 times 50 zibs. So
1 gold.
10 gold is what it would work out to.
10
Wait,
Yeah.
so
Huh?
Xenos?
Yes, 10
10
Xenos.
well, I already had one Azorius coin from before, and this is how many more?
It-
20?
No, the Azorius
To be
thing
fair.
you got
No,
was
the specialty
cop,
Azorius.
Just
Right.
like
but it
10
was
Xenos.
silver.
It's 10 Xenos.
But it was silver.
All right.
This one's Electrum.
Yes, what you got was
Like,
silver.
wonderful, great, awesome. So, if you have any questions, stop by. Reach back out with that other one, that Gendry, your friend.
Oh,
she
yes.
was fabulous.
She would
Bring her
absolutely
in.
be on board for a
Wonderful.
plan like this.
She seems like she can handle herself in a bit of a
Oh, of course.
sneaky situation. We love her.
She's very smart.
I'm also very good at being sneaky.
You'd be surprised.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Write that one down, Bab, and Bab is just like, oh, totally.
We got this.
You know, that's actually a really good idea. Instead of faking an Orzovan family, we can use a real Orzovan family. We'll just use our friend, Gendry, and our Orzhov name.
Oh,
That's a brilliant idea.
Oh my god.
I trust you so much. How do you have
That's
all
such
of
a
these
brilliant name, I
wonderful
love it.
ideas?
Perfectly. Throw someone else under the bus for it. That's beautiful. This
I
one.
mean,
Why
Bab.
not?
Write another heart under his name and
Her
put it for
family
me.
is
He's
looking to make a
smart.
name
I
for
like
itself.
Right.
All right, out you go. Out. It's late at night. Bab, you can roll up the gate. And the metal gate rolls up in front of the mesh, and it is just like a party in Kindle Coal Pit. They're like, yeah, enjoy yourselves if you wish. Just, don't leave a mess. We'll see y'all later this week. And kind of like ushers you all out. And the four goblins are still there doing their best impression of Panic and Pain from Hercules.
Oh my god.
We are worthless. And you all kind of cautiously step around them and make your way out. And that is where we will leave things this evening, having made another agreement with the Shatter Gang, but having saved 4 goblins and spared their lives. So, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. It's pretty great. Thank you guys so much for checking in with us tonight for episode 7. The rebroadcast of episode 6 will actually be happening later on this weekend, so keep watching our social media pages. Thank you all so much for everyone who hung out with us in chat tonight and stuck around for everything. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about the campaign, feel free to let us know. We're always looking for input. If you have any thing that you think didn't work so well, that you really enjoyed watching, things like that, we're always happy to kind of take your feedback and kind of help build the campaign as we go through that. So thank y'all so much. Next week, we will have the fabulous Luminitza back, and we will be heading to said Orjoven party to figure out what's going to happen with all of these various webs being woven and intricacies and storylines that are all kind of converging at this one party. It is sure to be kind of explosive. So thank y'all so much for sticking around with us this night. We hope y'all have a fantastic week, and we will see y'all later this weekend. Have a good night.